Hi, beautiful souls. Just wanted to share a quick message that I was just thinking about and shared it on a WhatsApp message with a friend. It's around creating an incubation kind of vibe, an incubator vibe. I can't even say the word, rather than a quarantine vibe. Now, one word that I would like to delete from my vocabulary is quarantine, because quarantine makes us feel like there's something wrong with us, right? That we have to hide away. What I've been doing lately is creating an incubator, an innovation incubator. I'm using this time to actually unhook from the programs of the world, the fear matrix, and I'll say what I'm doing to do that in a second. And I'm using this time to birth some projects. So I've had some projects on the go for the last year that are taking a little bit of time just because they're very innovative and have come up with a few roadblocks along that way. But this is the time now to use the energy, use even the chaos that's going on, because chaos is actually an energy that can bring order to your life, right? It's knowing how to really work with chaos and work with the energy around you to manifest and birth what you would like to create. So using this time to put my projects on the table and be like, okay, we are not in quarantine. We are going to focus our energy on these projects. Now, I've got a couple on the go and a few business things I'm doing. And also what I'm doing is connecting in with other people that are in that same position. So I'll have phone calls, Zoom meetings with, actually not Zoom. Zoom's actually not good. Did you guys know that Zoom actually is not good for privacy? My brother works in tech and he said, don't use Zoom. He has a tech company. But that's a side note. I've been using Zoom for a long time. But connecting in with people, because right now people have space to listen. People have space to bounce ideas off. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people that are have more space in their life, even if that's just because they're not commuting into work right now, right? And they're in that energy of regeneration, and they're in that energy of innovation. They're like, okay, the world is crumbling, so how can I pivot? We've all heard that word a lot lately, right? How can I pivot? How can I look at what the problems of the world are and create a solution? Lots of people are doing that right now. Maybe that's not you, and that's okay. If you're stuck in the fear, what the fuck is going on mode, that's totally okay as well. But not all of us are in that energy. I've gone through that energy before. So for me, I'm thriving. I'm having the time of my life in my incubation lab, but I'm bouncing ideas off people. I'm asking people to keep me accountable as well, having regular phone calls so that we can lay out some steps, and then I can meet them, next week or the week after and be like, this is what I did. This is what I worked on, right? Also focusing my energy, my attention. What do I want to create? What do I want to create every day, right? Because right now, like, I'm not interested in sitting around in like my gym gear and my trackies and just resting. I want to create. I want to be in the innovation spirit. I've got so many ideas. I have things channeling through me. I've birthed new gifts of my artwork. I'm drawing, I'm mastering my art, I'm mastering myself in this time, and I'm using that energy, the energy that's high potency, it's high frequency. I'm using that to look at what else can I create. I'm personally not just a, stick to one thing. I like to do lots of different things and work on different projects. That excites me, that makes me feel energized. So some of you might feel this stuck energy, and I felt that before this all went down. For a long time, I felt this energy within me that felt so inverted. Can anyone relate to that energy where you might even be working on the things that light you up? You might be working on what you think you should be working on, but you still have this energy inside you that's just like, it's like you have so much inside you. You have genius inside you. You have something, but you don't know what it is. And it starts like inverting, meaning you might feel anxious, you might feel sick, you might be tired all the time. Do you know if you feel tired all the time? A lot of the times, that is because you're not expressing something. There's something being withheld from the world. And a lot of the times we don't even know what that is. Like, that's been the biggest shift in my energy in the last few months, is that I felt like that even when I was working on my, my coaching and my writing and all of that. Like, I still felt that. And it wasn't until I started drawing and started my art that that feeling started to subside, because all that frequency started being channeled into an art form. There was an expression, and I didn't know that it was going to come out in that form. It came out in that form because I listened to spirit. Right? So now is that time to incubate your energy so that you can create this lab, create an innovation lab. Get yourself in an innovation lab. Join people into this, even if it's through phone calls or technology, where you can all come together and like, you know what, I would love to create something in this time. Maybe it's not a business, maybe it's something within you, maybe it's mastering a creative project, maybe it's to write music, maybe it's to, I don't know what, right? But use this time to create an innovation incubation lab, manifestation lab, rather than being quarantined. That word is so boring. Quarantine. And then the other thing, use like the fact that we're not allowed to be around people, like that can be a blessing. I know there's a lot of us that are missing touch. I live by myself. Quite frankly, I'm thriving by myself. But of course, we all want to be touched. We all want to be around our family or friends, and we want to be with people, right? Like, it is a difficult time when we're told we cannot even see people close to us because of this virus that half of us don't even know anyone that has it, right? It's difficult, but it's also the perfect opportunity to unhook, right? Unhook your energy. I realized, this came up for me recently, I realized how much I still hook into my family in terms of holding back because I don't want to do things that they're not into, right? Like, I had to look at that even with a lot of my spiritual pursuits and a lot of my spiritual gifts and my coaching. I could feel that I had held myself back because some people in my family, they don't believe in that stuff, and they're people I adore and they're people I look up to and they're people that are very successful. So I held back my gifts because I wanted to fit in. I had a really great year with my family last year, and I felt this closeness with them. We all went to Europe for my brother's wedding. We had the most amazing time. And because I was so connected into my family, you know what I realized? That I unhooked from a lot of my spiritual gifts because I just wanted that feeling of being accepted. And I hope they don't watch this. Or maybe I should hope so. But I'm saying all that to say it's okay to unhook. It doesn't mean leaving them. It doesn't mean not talking to them. It's just about like releasing yourself, unhooking from the paradigms of fear, from the beliefs of other people, from those people in your workplace, in your environment that are holding you back just a little bit. And there might be many reasons why they're holding you back. And a lot of the times it's just because we want to be accepted, we want to be loved. And right now as well, what is being, sorry, my hand's getting really sore. I have to change my hand, sorry. What is being triggered in people right now is this survival mechanism. That's why when people went crazy with the toilet paper, we have been triggered on such a deep level. Stuff in our emotional memory, in our DNA has been triggered. A lot of it's not even our stuff. It comes from our ancestors who have been through war, who have been through this before. This stuff is being triggered within us, right? And what do we want when that's happening? Is our tribe, our people, our family, because core wounds are coming up, core wounds of abandonment. I looked at this recently, actually. I had a day, maybe a week or two ago, where all of a sudden I felt this anxiety, and I was feeling really great before that. It just came over me really suddenly, and I could feel it was this core wound of abandonment because I was by myself, and I've actually been sick. I've had this lung virus, undiagnosed lung virus, and I was by myself, and I got this trigger come up because I was like, no one's allowed to see me. No one's allowed near me. The doctors wouldn't even see me. I had to have a call on the phone, right? My mother wasn't allowed to see me. Although, mind you, if my mum knew I was sick, she would come over. She wouldn't care about getting stuff. But there was this core wound of like, I'm all alone. I'm living by myself. I don't have a partner. My family can't see me. I'm all alone. So I had to move through that. I did some breath work. I did some EFT to move through that energy. But I'm saying that to say that wounding is coming up for a lot of people. And that's why we hook into the fear. We hook into the fear because we just want to be this vibrational match to the people we love. But we got to be like the movie Divergent. Has anyone seen that movie in Divergent? It's like they kind of have to leave their family because they're like, this is who I am. And we don't actually have to leave our family. This is all metaphorically speaking. It's like just detaching from the way they've lived. Their soul, I'm speaking very fast, I need to slow down, frequency coming in. Their soul is rooting for us. Their soul is rooting for us. Their soul wants us to evolve and unhook from what they went through. So if you have family members, parents that live in a paradigm of fear or survival or doing it the old way, like everything has been dismantled right now, that it doesn't even make sense to, they couldn't even win that fight right now, right? Job security went like that. It's crazy, right? But like, you have to let it go. And on a soul level, they want that for you. Our generation are meant to move past that. We're here for this time. And there's a splitting of consciousness happening right now. There's a splitting of consciousness. A lot of the energy forecasters, the psychics, have been talking about this for a couple of years now, where there'll be a split of these worlds. They talk about a split of the 3D and the 5D. And what I can see is happening is that there will be people, when this is all over, right, there will be people that will go back to the old way, but they'll be in more fear than before. But then there's a whole lot of people that will be shifting. The spiritualists call it like the whole lot of people ascending. A lot of these psychics for years would say they could see people leaving like evolving into like a new reality, parallel reality type of thing. And what I can see that in like layman terms and in real reality is that it's just the splitting of ease and struggle. And there will be people that will stay in that struggle because they're choosing to continually hook into it, right? And that's their soul journey. That's their soul, like that's what they signed up for on a soul level. But we can't like hold on to those people, and if it stops us from evolving and moving into these new times where there will be a lot more manifestation with ease. There's just next level stuff coming, and we're going through a really difficult time. But like, set the foundations. Most of us that feel okay in this season, we've already set this foundations. I keep saying, I'm like, this is easy for me, and I'm very fortunate, but I've still I've said this in another live stream, I lost a lot of income in the last few weeks. Like, I still think, oh gosh, how am I going to pay my rent in a few weeks? Like, I'm just by myself living in Sydney, in the most expensive city in the world, trying to pay a rent for a tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. Like, I have the same struggles, so to speak, as other people, but I'm not choosing to see it because I've already been through all that shit. I've already had it all taken away. I've already had my mental health taken away. I've already had all that, right? And so I've been through that. And I know a lot of you that watch me and, you know, relate to me, you've been through it all as well. Like, you've already been through it, right? Other people, it's new for them. Like, a lot of people that had these stable jobs and they had a life that looked a certain way, this is new territory for them. But for us that have been working on ourselves because we have been through hell and we've already been through the dark night of the soul, we don't need to hook into that system anymore. Program. We get to create innovation. We get to incubate. We get to like just birth new projects, new talents, new gifts, and that's what I really want to say. Hey Rohit. That's what I really want to say is that I was writing and it was just flowing through from spirit last night, and I'm going to share more about it because I feel so much to speak to artists and creators. You know, I've had messages come to me for a while now about the artistic creative realms, and I didn't know why, and then all of a sudden I started channeling this new gift of drawing, and now I'm seeing like how it is related to everything we're going through. And you know, spirit was showing me so much stuff, and in every single industry everything's dissolving, including paradigms within creative industries. Everything's dissolving, and we are like moving into a new energy all around. I can feel it. I know it. It's just flowing through me, and there's so much excitement coming available for us. There's just like I was like, am I on an acid trip? Like, have they put acid in my hand sanitizer? Because I was so like, I'm just by myself amusing myself every day, you know. But it's just a high frequency, and it's a frequency game. It's all a frequency game. So play the game. Actually, that could lead to another message, but I'll leave that for now. Play the game, the frequency game, incubate, don't quarantine, and create in this incubation lab. And if you want support, if you want help, if you want to birth something, like something crazy never been done before, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on something. Oh my God, it's quite difficult actually. I've been birthing it for a year and I'm just getting a bit frustrated with myself because I'm like, come on, the next step needs to come in, and it's like, I don't see it yet. But it's a time to play and just bring into form things that don't exist. Anyway, sending you lots of love. Just reach out, say hello, and let me know if I can support you anyway. Bye for now.